Welcome to Dr. L's Coaching Tips. This first set of segments is going to be about the challenge of telling your story very well. Most entrepreneurs end up needing a pitch deck, and they need to present to people who they hope to influence. That's what this series is going to be about. Today, I'm going to give you an analogy. Telling your story is a lot like being a tour guide. Several years ago, I had a chance to visit the beaches in Normandy, France, and I saw something that really fascinated me. I watched all these professional tour guides milling around and different groups congealing around them as the tours were sold. And the first thing they all ask is, okay, who's here, where are you from? And immediately you could almost visibly see the gears shifting in their heads. And I noticed with our tour guide in particular, she zoomed right into what a group of Americans want to see. You're going to go to Omaha Beach. The stories that are going to be told are going to be the things that interest Americans. So some of it for a pitch deck presentation is going to be obvious when you think about the audience you have. There's some things you're going to know for sure. If it's a group of investors, you're going to have to tell the numbers. But there's other things that are a lot more subtle, and you have to be listening to the clues, watching for the clues and listening to the questions, and kind of get a better feel of exactly what does this financial person need to know from you. I had the opportunity to learn from a great organization down in Atlanta several years ago called Speakeasy, and I use a framework they gave me ever since then. And it goes like this. Wherever your audience member you're thinking about is starting, we call that point A. And how do we understand point A? Well, again, I'm borrowing from other people that are smarter than me. And a friend of mine, Ann Grinnell's, taught me to ask this set of questions. When I wanted to understand where somebody's starting, she always boiled it down to 3 questions. What do people know? What do they need to know? And what do they care about? That's a great little framework that you can use when you're thinking about the person in your audience that you're trying to influence. But something probably just occurred to you as you're listening to me is that not everybody in your audience shares the same point A. So actually, you're going to have a cluster of point A's all around the room. And what's interesting is you want all of them usually to come to the same ending point, which we're going to call point X. We have that in common, and if you're given a pitch, it probably means you want to be invited to enter their due diligence process or whatever the next step in the journey is for them to decide whether they're going to make an investment in your company or offer other kinds of support that you're trying to raise. And so you actually have to figure out what part of that journey of each of these people is in common and what part is different. Design your presentation to address the needs of each of those people in a smooth way so that everybody gets their questions answered. If you can do that and satisfy your audience the same way my tour guide in Normandy Beach did, then you will be successful, because when you get to the end, the journey will have been made by your audience and they'll be ready to take that next step. We'll come back next time and start unpacking that. Thank you. Now, drawing this to a close, here's what I'd like you to do. If these are just a few quick highlights, hopefully helpful tips, but if they are helpful to you, you'd like to learn more, plug into the website below and some of the social media platforms that I use to put this information out. There's even a Udemy course you can take on some of this. So just avail yourself as however it works for you. My job is to help you look great. Thanks a lot for sticking with me these last 5 sessions.